Okay, good evening everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 333 News. I'm your news anchor Mario, and this is going to be a long one. I'm going to warn you right now, because we have a crap ton of things to discuss in tonight's episode. So, let's begin with our top story of the night. An internet outage struck the United States in Venus City on February 8th, leaving millions offline without connection for various periods of time throughout the day. Some people had lost connection for as little as an hour, while others spent the entire day offline. Now, the cause of this internet outage that spread across the country is still unknown. However, it is under investigation. And since this is an event that impacted a lot of people, millions in fact, it is worth covering and worth trying to figure out what the heck happened to cause such an event to happen. So, yeah. Many internet service providers reported large-scale outages happening all over the nation, along with many other large and critical services experiencing sudden outages. If you go to the down detector history for the February 8th, whatever day of the week that was, you'll see some spikes on a lot of services throughout various times of the day. There were many outages that spread across the nation, and the cause is still under investigation, as I mentioned. All right, next up, a huge announcement regarding 333 News and all of our videos. We are currently preparing some huge changes for next week, making all new assets for 333 News as we are undergoing our software migration, so be prepared for the ultimate overhaul next week, as we are going to be updating just about everything. We're updating the thumbnails, we're going to be updating the intro, we're going to be using our brand new weather icons, which we already announced last weekend. And we're even going to add in a bonus item that you're going to have to wait and see next week. We're not going to spoil it. So yeah, we are going to start with 333 News with this software migration and the whole updates thing, but we will also move our other videos to the new software over the course of the year, 2024. We're not going to be doing that immediately because we still need time to figure everything out with everything else. However, we have just about gotten around to figuring things out for 333 News, and we are wrapping up creating all of our new assets. So, yeah, we can't wait to take full advantage of all of our new equipment, because it's going to be, I'm sure, great, and looking very forward to all of the new assets and stuff. So, yeah, things that we're not going to be changing relating to 333 News include the end screen, the current news theme, and the new studio that we got here. The studio is going to stay pretty much the same. So, yeah. However, we'll go ahead and debrief what we have changed next week, because this episode is going to be long as it is, and I don't want to really recover everything. All right. Of course, College Adventures Season 2 is off to a great start so far. And through the end of the spring semester, we're going to continue to use our original software for College Adventures, KineMaster. And come Season 3, if we decide that Season 3 is going to be a go, we'll go ahead and transfer that over to our new software too. Alright. There are still many things that we are figuring out, so further updates and improvements are going to be expected over time as we continue to work on more new stuff. So even with all the updates that we're going to be putting in place right at the get-go next week, we may still be making more changes over time, because, of course, we always like to optimize things, and the changes that we made may not be final. So, yeah. Of course, some more stuff that we're going to be continuing to work on are our forecast maps, which we are actually going to be going ahead to use today because we have a winter storm forecast prepared. And, yeah, we're tracking a major winter storm set to strike southern New England on Tuesday, so, yeah. Winter Storm Jarvis is likely to intensify to a Category 2 nor'easter Monday night into Tuesday, bringing several inches of snow to much of southern New England. So we have a winter storm forecast prepared for you guys today, which is also going to be contributing to just how long this episode is. But without further ado, let's take it to Donkey Kong, the meteorology studio. He's got your full and detailed forecast ready for you guys. Over to you, Donkey Kong. Alright, welcome to the meteorology studio. I'm Donkey Kong, meteorologist, and today we're going to be doing a heck lot of meteorology in the meteorology studio. So, let's get started with the current conditions, and right now what we're looking at is currently 41 degrees, cloudy skies. The weekend has been pretty nice thus far, but that nice weather is about to come to an end, as you're about to see here, because we're currently tracking a major winter storm on the way. Winter Storm Jarvis, as far as we know. The name might not be correct, but we'll see about that. Because, well, they haven't published the name of the storm yet, so, yeah. We're going under the assumption that it's Winter Storm Jarvis. In any case, it's expected to bring some major impacts to much of New England, including widespread heavy snow, winds, and of course a chance for some power outages too. We'll get to that in just a moment. And we're going to go ahead and skip past the 24-hour radar once we get to our radar screen, because that run isn't going to get us all the way to when the storm is actually over our area. So anyways, let's go ahead and switch to the mapping radar screen. Alright, so for the mapping radar screen, let's go ahead and get started if I move over to the side here with our snow total forecasts. These are going to be the expected accumulations, and right away what you're going to notice, that's a lot of snow. So many areas are going to be seeing snow. And as far south as central New Jersey, in fact, and Long Island's going to be getting in on it too, which is great because they haven't had a whole lot of snow activity this winter. At least 6 inches is going to be expected throughout southern New England, all the way down to the coastline, in fact, which is pretty rare. But with these major winter storms, that of course is possible. We can't, slide that off the table. It is going to happen, and as it totally can happen, it will happen. So yeah. Of course, we're going to also have higher amounts, over 12 inches expected north of Providence, in that red area there that you'll see circling most of southern New England, just excluding the immediate south area, which is still in orange, as you can see. And you can use the key to the left to reference that. And, yeah. So, and of course, what am I doing? There's going to be a possibility of up to 20 inches around the Metro Boston area, and that area is actually shaded in that magenta color, which is going to be your 18 to 24-inch area, as you can see by the key all the way on the left there. So, moral of the story, a lot of snow is expected here, and just be prepared for all of that snow. It's really going to be the motherload of snow for the winter. This might be our biggest storm of the year, in fact. Alright, next up, let's look at our wind gust forecast. So, yeah, don't expect to be let off so lightly by the winds. We are going to be having a wind factor in this too. As you can see, there's going to be a general area of 30 plus miles an hour, and that's going to be basically most of southern New England where the storm is impacting, even going down to Long Island as well. So, yeah, still going to be getting on those winds as well. And then for coastal New England, we're going to be seeing into the 40s for wind gusts, 40 miles an hour plus. And that's going to be your medium orange there, as you can see on the map. So, yeah, there's still going to be some pretty strong winds coinciding with this storm, which can cause for blizzard conditions when the snow is at its peak fall rate. It's going to be heavy in like upwards of an inch an hour in most spots when the storm is at its peak strength passing by. So, yeah. And, of course, one more spot, the darker orange you can see there. The Cape and the Islands is going to be seeing 50-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts. So, yeah, there are going to be coastal areas that have some strong wind gusts coinciding with the snow, and if we go ahead and go to our power outage forecast here, you'll see the result of the combination of those winds and the heavy snow. We are going to be expecting most of the affected area by a storm to have a possibility of power outages, as you can see by the green shade there. And we have a possibility of scattered power outages in the yellow there for that area that I mentioned, coastal southern New England, mainly southeast New England, and the main areas being affected more often by power outages, as we are forecasting. The higher chance of power outages is going to be where the highest amounts of snow are expected and the highest wind gusts are expected. So be prepared for that, because, well, the snow is, of course, going to be a factor in those power outages, as when the wind blows the snow around, it can cause even more of a mess than, just straight up the wind without anything to assist it. Even with 60-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts, if you factor in the snow, then it's kind of going to be the same odds of power outages as if you have, like, basically half of that wind speed. So, yeah, be prepared for those power outages. They're really, I don't know what I just dropped, or something fell. I didn't drop anything, but be prepared for those extreme wind gusts, not extreme wind gusts, but the extreme snow totals and the high power outage factor coming with the moderate wind gusts and the high amounts of snow that we are expecting with this storm. Alright, moving on, let's go to our threat levels. Alright, so your threat levels here. We're going to start out with snow as a level 4 threat, because we're expecting a lot of snow coming with this storm. And as I mentioned, there could be bullseyes of up to 20 inches of snow, which is quite a lot, especially for a New England system. And it's not even in mountainous areas. We're talking about at the surface level. Alright, wind is going to be a level 2 threat. As I had mentioned, the winds, they're there. The winds are going to be present, and they are going to be a contributing factor to the storm, but they're not going to be extreme. So with the highest wind gusts on the Cape and Islands being forecasted only to be in the 50s, we're not looking at winds as a serious threat, but we still want to monitor the winds because they can be a threat. So, yeah, just be mindful of that. Power outages. That's going to be a level 3 threat because, well, as I mentioned, the snow and the winds combined can be cause for power outage potential to skyrocket. Not too high, that power outage is going to be consuming the entire area, but power outage potential is a lot higher when you combine the winds with the snow, because the snow will be weighing down tree branches and power lines. Alright, for travel concerns, that is going to be level 4, mostly in the Tuesday AM hours, because that is when the peak strength of the storm is going to be. And the reason is because there's going to be so much snow blowing around and falling in general because of, the peak strength of the storm. And what that snow is going to do is it's going to hinder travel because it's probably going to be all over the roads. So, yeah, I would just recommend staying indoors and at home and not traveling Tuesday AM hours. So if you need to go anywhere, then I would do it tomorrow, Monday, before the storm arrives. Stock up, get your supplies ready, because traveling was going to be very difficult in the Tuesday morning hours. And of course, coastal flooding, we have a level 2 threat, as the peak strength of the storm is going to in fact line up with high tide at 10 in the morning on Tuesday. So we're going to be watching for coastal flooding too. It's probably not going to be that serious, but keep an eye out for it because, yeah, the winds are there. So if coastal flooding is on the table, there is going to be a little bit of a coastal flooding threat. And coastal flooding definitely is on the table, just, not to an extreme level. If anything, we're going to be seeing low amounts of coastal flooding. So, yeah. Now, your last thing here is going to be the 7-day forecast. Alright, so without further ado, your 7-day forecast. So, tomorrow, Monday, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies, 47 degrees. Not looking too bad. It's going to be the calm before the storm, and I would take advantage of tomorrow to really prepare for the storm's impacts because they're going to be pretty severe. Alright, on Tuesday, of course, we're going to be having all of that heavy snow and the winds and stuff, and it's going to be 35 degrees. So just, stay indoors on Tuesday if you can, because the snow is obviously going to be causing massive travel issues and stuff. You just don't want to be trying to travel and end up stranded on the roads and in a massive traffic jam as well, because that'll happen if you try and travel in the snow. Alright, Wednesday, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies, 31 degrees. So after the storm moves out, it's going to calm down, and that'll be great. Get some relief, and you'll be able to shovel out your driveways and stuff in the calm after the storm. If I turn around here, on Thursday, partly cloudy skies once again, and 35 degrees. So, yeah, we get a milder period after the storm. It's going to be cold, but it's not going to be doing much in terms of precipitation. So, yeah, that's going to be a good opportunity for you guys to clear off your driveways and stuff. That way, you can actually get to your cars, and people will hopefully be clearing out the roads in those 2 days, because when we go here to Friday, we actually have another chance of some light snow. It's not going to be a whole-blown storm system, full-blown, I mean, not whole-blown, but there is going to be a chance of some snow showers popping up on Friday, 35 degrees, so yeah, more snow potentially on the way after the major storm. On Saturday, we're going to be looking at mostly cloudy skies, 33 degrees, so continues to cool down after that, and yeah. However, it's not going to get extremely cold because, as you'll notice, all the way over here on Sunday, we're also going to be looking at mostly cloudy skies, but it's going to be 36 degrees, so it's not going to be cold throughout, but it's definitely going to be, in general, a lot cooler once the storm is, all said and done. In any case, that's going to do it for your 7-day forecast, and that is your full and detailed forecast of Winter Storm Jarvis. Still not sure if that's going to be the actual name of the storm, but hopefully you're all prepared, and hopefully that's all the information that you need. We gave you as much as we could. We couldn't get the radar because the 24-hour run would not be able to get to when the storm is actually over our area, so we had to skip on that, but we brought you everything else, and hopefully this has helped you prepare for the storm. It's going to be a big one, so don't take it lightly. Be prepared, and get whatever supplies you need throughout the day tomorrow, because on Tuesday, the storm's going to be here, and you're not really going to have many options for travel and stuff. And if you lose power, then we can't help you. So be sure to prepare while you can. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So we're going to take it back to Wario at the news desk. Back to you, Wario. Right, thank you, Donkey Kong. So, yeah. As Donkey Kong said, I would just start preparing right now because we've got just about 36 hours before the storm is going to be here. And as he'd mentioned, the peak of the storm is going to be Tuesday in the AM hours. So, throughout the day tomorrow on Monday, just, do whatever you can to prepare. That way you don't have to leave your home on Tuesday. So, yeah. And of course, this is going to take a while to put together and get out to you guys because this is probably our longest episode of 333 News we've ever done. There was a lot in today's episode, and I don't want to continue dragging it on even further. So we're actually going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, I'm your news anchor, Wario, and I hope to see you in the next episode when we've got all of our changes done and ready. Wario, out.